Salve, Magistra Laura Higli sum. Today we'll be reading selections from Hans Auerberg's Lingua Latina per se illustrata pars prima familia romana. In your textbook, you will find a map of the Roman Empire. This is the starting point that Hans Auerberg uses to teach you something that is new to you, the Latin language. He uses something familiar to you, the world around you. And this is the world. The shapes are familiar to me, especially this one. And yet the names are different from the names that I grew up knowing that these things were called. Here's one that's the same that I know, at least, that is the same. As you're beginning with this Roman Empire map with the names that the Romans themselves used, you might want to look at romanempire.net to see the Roman Empire during various times in history. AD 116 is the Emperor Trajan's reign. This is a great extent of the Roman Empire, and it is the map that Auerberg's map comes from. It's the same places. If you just want to be sure that, yes, this is the world, here is a map taken very recently by NASA. It is the world today, a picture taken from outer space. Isn't it beautiful? And the shape, thank goodness, Italy, I know this one. The problem with this picture is that there are no words for the places, and that doesn't help me much when I try to look at Auerberg's map. Neither did this picture. Here's Auerberg's map with the places and all the words that are so different from what I'm used to, except maybe this one. And so I can look at utexas.edu, and here is a map taken in about 2008, and these are the words that I know for these places. Let's make a comparison then and learn some of the places in Latin. Hispania, we'll start on the left-hand side of our picture and compare. Hispania is Spain. Here's Portugal, because in the Roman Empire, Portugal and Spain were not separated. Gallia, France. Italia, Italy, I knew that one. Graecia, there it is, Greece. And so you can go and you can look on any map and compare the place names with the place names that are on Auerberg's map if you're not sure as you're reading the Latin, if you're just not sure what these words are that he is using. Let us begin reading Latin with capitulum primum. Capitulum primum, abbreviated over here. Look, a 1. Primum must be what I thought, the first chapter. Capitulum primum, chapter 1. Auerberg uses pictures extensively to teach you the new words, and when we need to, we'll go back to this picture and we'll learn the new words this way, because Auerberg does not want you to learn the words from English. He wants you to learn the words from Latin itself. Lingua Latina per se illustrata, the Latin language illustrated through itself. The title of Capitulum Primum is Imperium Romanum, the Roman Empire. I want to go back and show you the map again, and we'll refer to the map as we're reading the Latin. There. Not so good. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's see. No. There we go. Capitulum primum Imperium Romanum. And it begins with Latin words, Roma in Italia est. You may look at the map and find Roma, Where is Rome on the map? There it is. Roma in Italia est. Rome is in Italy. Italia in Europa est. Just making a small substitute for what it's in Europe. And what is in Europe? Italy. Italy is in Europe. Graecia in Europa est. Moving the map over to find Graecia. Here it is. Graecia in Europa est. If you're not sure what that is, you can go to your map of Europe. Graecia in Europa est. Graecia, Greece, is in Europe. Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. Italy and Greece are in Europe. This is true. Hispania quoque in Europa est. Hispania quoque in Europa est. Spain is also in Europe. Hispania et Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. Spain and Italy and Greece are in Europe. You've done a fantastic job figuring out the Latin so far. Here are the new words that you learned besides the new names for the places. Est means is, sunt means are, quoque means also, and in means in and was not changed. Let's go back and read again. Read with me in Latin. Roma in Italia est. Italia in Europa est. Graecia in Europa est. Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. Hispania quoque in Europa est. Hispania et Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. And as you read this, comparing to the map the places, you understand Latin from Latin itself, and you verified, as your teacher told you, what the Latin words mean in English for the ones you weren't sure, and you could look on the map here to find the places if you weren't sure what they were. You've done a really great job learning Latin for the first time today. Your next job is to go back to the chapter and read that paragraph again. Roma in Italia est. Italia in Europa est. Graecia in Europa est. Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. Hispania quoque in Europa est. Hispania et Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. And try to avoid the temptation to turn Latin into English as you're reading it. Instead, take the Latin and the picture and understand the Latin as it's speaking to you. At first, this seems counterintuitive and not very easy to do, but it's actually harder to switch back and forth between two languages than it is to just stay with one. I have no problem telling you what the words mean once in English and showing you on the map in case you're not sure the place names. But in the end, it's you and the Latin, and that's the way to learn a new language. You've done a great job today, and we'll be back soon with the next installation of Capitulum Primum from Lingua Latina per se illustrata by Hans Oerberg.